So this is Joanne from Inspiring Yarns, and I'm going to attempt to try and show those who are left-handed crocheters how to start and do double crochet. So first of all, we need to do a slip knot. So if you hold the yarn there in this hand and just wrap it around your fingers and let it hang down towards the back, place the hook in there and pull the yarn through, and then just pull the tail, and that gives you a slip knot, and you want that to be snug but quite loose on your hook. And then holding your yarn, this is the tail, whoops, slipped off, pop it back on again. This is the tail and this is the working yarn. So you want to slip your hand in between the tail and the working yarn, grab the yarn with your little finger there and pop your middle finger out, okay? So we need to do some chains first. So just put the hook under, put it down towards the ground and pull it through. Wrap the yarn round, grab it and pull it through the loop. And then if you just move your finger and thumb up a bit closer, this is what gives you control here. And you just continue. I'm just going to do 10 chains all together. So that's 3 and 4. And every couple I'm just going to move up a bit closer. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Okay, and if I want 10 stitches, I need one more as my turning chain. Okay, so we do 11 chains all together. And if you remember, this is the flat to each of these V's, counts as a chain. Okay, and that's the front and the side you want to go into it. And you don't count the loop in your hook when you're counting your chain. You turn it over, it looks a bit more like chainmail at the back, but we want to go into the flat V's along the front. Okay, so again, putting my finger in between the chain here, grabbing the working yarn behind, and I'm putting my middle finger out, and I want to skip this chain and go into the next one. Again, wanting to go between, not as good with my left hand. There are 3 strands, top one, a bottom one, and one at the back. So we want to go through, if possible, between that bottom one and the middle strand. Okay, so stabbing the hook down the ways, grabbing your yarn and bringing it back through the chain. Okay, grabbing the yarn again and bringing it through those 2 loops, and that's your first double crochet done. All right, so we want to go into the second one. So again, stabbing through the bottom, grabbing the yarn and bringing it through, grabbing the yarn again and bringing it through the 2 loops. Okay, so there's 3 steps I guess really to a double crochet. First one is going in to the chain, stabbing in through the chain, grabbing the yarn and bringing it out through the chain, grabbing the yarn and bringing it through the 2 loops. 3 steps, and sometimes I find it is helpful if you can kind of talk your way through that. So another one, in through the chain, grabbing the yarn and bringing it out through the chain, grabbing the yarn and bringing it through 2. Just making my way along to the end, and I'm very slow because I'm not left-handed. Okay, in through the chain, grabbing the yarn, and you can see here that I've gone between the top and the middle strand, and that's why it's giving me a little bit of a hole. So I'm just going to take that off again and try that again. What I want to do is go in through that bottom bit instead. Okay, so in, grab the yarn, out, grab the yarn and through 2. in, grab the yarn out through the chain, grab the yarn and bring it through two. Nearly at the end here, so in through that one, two left, and again I'm going through the wrong place. That's my left-handed awkwardness, sorry about that. But I'm in, grabbing the yarn and bringing it out, and again if it's a bit tight, pull it down here, give it a shuggle and it makes it a bit looser, grab the yarn and bring it through those two loops. Okay, and we have one last one to do. And it can always be a wee bit awkward. And it's so awkward that I'm not going to get into it now. Take your time. Okay, so in, grab the yarn, bring it out. Grab the yarn and bring it through two. You'll possibly be able to do this quicker than me. Okay, so we set it down and have a wee look at it. And that's our first row of double crochets done. And if you saw that compared to, and I can actually see so I've missed a stitch there. Okay, not going to worry about it, just going to keep going. So what we need to do is do a turning chain. So that's grabbing the yarn and pulling it through and turn over, and you're going to go back along. Okay, so this time we're going to go into each of these here. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I definitely missed a chain on the way down there. Okay, so we've done one chain, but this is our first stitch in here. And again, hand in between, holding the crochet, making sure you'll be able to get at the stitch, and working yarn caught between the wee finger and middle finger out. Okay, so we're going to go in, and what you want to do is again point down the way, because when you look at the top you should have two strands at the top. Okay, so grabbing the yarn, bring it out through the stitch, grabbing the yarn and bring it through two. A wee bit easier now because you've got something to hold on to. Into the next stitch, going down the ways, grabbing the yarn, pulling it out through the stitch, grabbing the yarn, pull it through two. In through the next stitch. Apparently this is really good for my brain, trying to do this with the other hand, but there you go, grabbing the yarn, bring it through the stitch, grabbing the yarn and through two. Okay, in through the next one, grabbing the yarn, out through the stitch, grabbing the yarn and through two. Into the next one, grabbing the yarn, out through the stitch, grabbing the yarn and through two. Getting maybe a wee bit better at it, you know. The next one, through two, and through there, grabbing the yarn, out through the stitch, grabbing the yarn and through two, in through there, grabbing the yarn, out through the stitch, grabbing the yarn through two, and is that one at the end? Yep, one more, in through there, grabbing the yarn, out through the stitch, grabbing the yarn and through. Whoops, need to pull it a wee bit looser just to get it through there. Okay, so now we have two rows. I use one chain, turn over and head back along again, and you can keep going as much as you want. Hope that helped.